Welcome back to the Remedial Film Class Podcast Fall Break, as we're wrapping up here, nearing semester 2. And what better way to celebrate than to drag George up into space?
Into space?
Pigs in space.
I'm Dan, hosting this amalgamation of silly and also studious movie watching.
I'm George, and I am studiously watching all of the movies.
And I'm Travis, and I can't believe I watched half of these movies again. He's gonna cut that out.
No, he won't.
That's staying in. It's been a recent tradition on the fall break editions of these shows to just let George hammer us with love and or hatred via his notes. George, do you have notes tonight?
I do. Jason X. Glad to see Jason got the hell out of hell. Not gonna lie, I was concerned. I like the way this Jason looks. Opening scene effects are real good. I like that they address Jason's immediately healing shoulder from part 2/3 with one line of dialogue. Only took them 7 movies. Eye roll. Cryogenic suspension tank leaks and initiates a lockdown, but doesn't shut off. Okay. In the year 2455, they're still giving their computers voice commands. It makes me think of Neuralink and how directly linking computers to the brain wasn't even on their radar. Best line of the movie so far, damn it, I need money. Somebody do the math and tell me what 500K is worth in the year 2455.
About $10.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're getting to the end here. She went full Tomb Raider on him, meaning, you know what I mean, on Jason, whatever that droid chick's name was.
I call her She-3PO.
Oh, you know what I forgot to write down? How ridiculous her fake nipples were. That was hilarious.
But they fell off, which was funny.
Yeah, they fell off. Yeah.
That's part
That's
of
like how they introduced that she wasn't real.
Right.
That was hilarious. Okay, keep going.
George is like, boobies. Wait, what?
Yeah, what? Oh, God. Okay. I do not like Resurrected Jason. New best line. Jason fucking Voorhees, that's what's going on. Okay.
Enter Dan's laugh.
Somebody put on a sweater, Jesus. The simulation is fantastic.
Yes.
Why did their ship explode again?
Which one?
The big ship, like the whole ship. Like
they drove right through it.
No, but like, why did it explode? Like, how did they get 45 minutes before it exploded? I don't know. I just missed that part.
Right.
But I'm sure there's a good reason. Eye roll. Okay. A decent way to end it, I guess. Interesting movie, I guess, but not really a Jason movie.
Wow.
I don't know.
He's already an expert.
I mean, like, you know, it's not a Jason movie. It's like it's like Jason meets Star Trek meets The Matrix.
My only note, that if they're going to steal the entire storyline of all the Aliens movies, they should at least do them well. But it was fun. I mean, it's 90s fun, I guess, before everybody got serious.
It's been a while since I saw any of the Alien or Aliens movies. But I get what you're saying, though.
If they would have taken the idea seriously and not, I mean, it's pretty much satire in a way.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's almost like watching an airplane movie. I was looking for Leslie Nielsen a few times. But, yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, like, all these ideas, if taken seriously, could have really made a really cool, scary movie in space. Now, going into space is stupid anyway, but at least take it seriously, and then it becomes Alien in a way.
Yeah.
And you can really play with it and do the things you want to do with the character and make it menacing, make it scary, make it suspenseful.
Yeah.
Instead, they went the opposite way.
Right, but that's like kind of what I'm saying about like how this isn't a Jason movie. Like, if you make the villain anything but Jason, it totally works.
Right.
The reason why this doesn't really work is because it's Jason.
And the main girl, is there a reason why they didn't just hire Olivia Munn? Like, she looks like Olivia Munn's clone, but she must have been cheaper.
Well, Olivia Munn was probably like 14.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
probably like 10. Yeah,
But
she was probably young.
the
Holy
two
crap.
actresses were flip-flopped on some sci-fi show.
Mhm.
The robot lady in this was a human, and the human in this was a robot.
Gotcha.
So it's an inside joke for all those dedicated fans of Andromeda.
Mm.
I am not a fan. I don't watch sci-fi, but so imagine how I like this movie. I'm just kidding.
Now, you said you liked the Jason look.
I like the Jason look in the beginning when he's all chained up.
I enjoyed it, other than the fact, like, I remember it bothering me back then too. I didn't like how stylized it was, how it looked like it was sculpted with a nose and stuff. That bothered me, and I didn't like seeing his hair.
I didn't like the hair. That gave me a negative feeling. to
Yeah,
me.
it was like you could tell it was Kane Hodder's hair. You could tell, even though it was an appliance, which didn't make sense to me. Like, they made a fake appliance of Kane Hodder's mullet. So Jason kind of had a mullet, but it wasn't Kane's hair, but it was made to look like Kane's hair. It was like it bothered me.
Mathematically, though, if Jason were a real person, good chance he has a mullet.
He is represented well by a mullet. But I think the bald head makes him look more scary and menacing. So the hair kind of threw me off. It looked like an uncle wearing a Halloween mask.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I kind of felt the same way. Like, oh, that looks weird. Like, it looks like not Jason. But then I just kind of like opened my mind, and I was like, well, is it just because all the other Jasons didn't have hair? And like, did I really like the way those Jasons looked? So I'm like, I like the way this Jason looks. I mean, it may look different. It may be stylized. He may have hair on his head. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
So a theoretical question for George, the expert on Jason's hair.
Yeah.
Who cuts Jason's hair?
His brother Mason.
Let's see.
Tommy
Who
Jason.
cuts Jason's hair?
Tammy Jason.
Tammy Jason.
It's
Just funny.
funny. That's my hairdresser's
That's your hairdresser's name.
Tammy.
Tammy.
Tammy Jason.
Yeah, I really, like, when I was watching, I was like, if they went and they got David Fincher to make this movie.
It's a great name.
Yeah. But I mean,
Fincher.
he made Alien 3, and it was before he made 7, and he was a nobody. And I pictured the Alien 3 tone. I don't know if you've seen that, but it just has like that dirty, gritty space. You know, everything's kind of filthy. It's not like Star Trek clean. And that was the tone in Alien, where it's just like these are oil workers, and they just kind of, it's just very gritty. If they would have taken that grittiness, taken out the stupid humor. And
Wait. When was there stupid humor?
from beginning to end, it was just very tongue in cheek.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Man, you're so screwed. Ugh.
I did laugh.
That was a cool effect, though.
What's that?
I like that kill when he fell on the screw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eh.
There's just so much that made my eyes roll, but I was sitting there watching it going, man, if they would have just taken this seriously, it would have been a really good idea. Like, have the people go to Earth, do the whole thing, not find Jason cryoed, but maybe take soil samples, not realizing they're in Crystal Lake area. They take soil samples from what used to be a dried up lake, and they get the DNA of Jason, and it's a whole when they bring it on board, then they do this whole experiment thing where they actually regenerate him.
Yeah.
That would have been so much more believable. It would have been like almost like Venom kind of symbiote kind of thing, where they don't know what they're dealing with because they haven't seen it yet. And it's just they created it from the DNA in the dirt. They didn't even realize it, and it's him. And then he looks completely different because he's a...
They should do it with the DNA from a fossilized mosquito. That would be a good... believable way
Cue the Jurassic Park music.
for it to happen.
No, but that would be
No,
a
I
lot
agree.
more believable.
I believed it when I watched Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jason X would be worse if you. Never mind.
Because I love the whole claustrophobia of, and they kind of got rid of that. Like they made the ship very Star Trek-ish,
Mm-hmm.
so it takes away the scariness of it. Space.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost was like they were in a 5-star hotel, and it was just very beautiful and very open, not claustrophobic at all. There's really no danger there. Everybody's funny. Everybody, well, trying to be funny. The teachers kind of like, I don't know. To me, it was just so. It was almost like watching a parody of a scary movie way before the Wayans brothers made it.
Mm. Do you think that they were trying to make a parody,
Yes.
or it just happened that way?
I think they were just kind of doing it tongue in cheek. They're like, oh, they probably built the whole movie around the fact that wouldn't it be cool if we had a simulator and we put Jason in the simulator and we made him think he was at the camp, but he wasn't.
To be fair, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, it really is.
They
Yeah.
built the
Also-
whole movie around that.
Counterpoint to my earlier Jurassic Park statement, you could argue that Jason finds a way.
Jason finds a way.
So there you go. Jason finds a way.
That's fine. Yeah. I think it would have been better if he found a way from DNA, though.
Jason Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Or just like a cadaver. Like, I don't know. I just, the whole Frozen thing, I was just like,
You know when I
Jason
knew that I
Cube.
wasn't going to have any fun today? I haven't seen this movie in a long time. Do you know the moment that it hit me? Oh, this is going to be more of a chore than I remember. Opening scene, like credits, like pre-movie credits. You've got the Spawn quality CGI of hell, I guess, for some reason. And a Home Alone inspired score. I was like, okay. All right. Okay. And all right.
But I remember watching the beginning and not feeling bad about it. Like, back when I first saw this, I was like, oh. Because in the commercial, they kind of they did all the reveals in the commercial and the trailer. So you know there's 2 Jasons in the movie. There's an upgrade. You know all that from the trailer. So nothing's a spoiler.
That sucks.
Uber Jason.
Yeah, you get the Uber Jason in the trailer. So you already know. And then they foreshadow it like 3 times with the kid getting his arm cut off and the nanotech or the ants or whatever the hell that they had were rebuilding the body. So you already know, oh, that's how it happens. Like, there was no surprise to any of it, which is, they don't care. They were just going to make money.
I think it's funny that, like, even when Jason is frozen solid, he can still take someone's arm off with his machete.
Yes, that was funny.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest douche of the group.
Like, he's inanimate, completely inanimate, and he's still stabbing motherfuckers.
I mean, it's more of a slash, but I'll give
Yeah,
you
whatever.
that.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
take
still
it. We'll
slashing
take it.
motherfuckers.
I like the redundant freezing room mechanism to get the survivor to be frozen with him.
Yeah, it was cool.
Of all the things in the movie, I liked that part. I was like, you know what? That's clever enough. I'm gonna give it a pass.
Since they did it, I was fine with it. Like, I wasn't like, oh, that's so stupid. But then after watching it recently, being a lot older and a lot of ideas while watching it, I started like thinking, oh, there's different things they could have done. But then again, it didn't matter because they weren't going that route. They weren't trying to be serious. They weren't trying to be Splice or Species was another one. Like, the whole scientific angle would have been cool because you have a spaceship. You're going to have scientists on the spaceship. But no, they're just a bunch of students.
Come to think of it, forget Freddy versus Jason. I want Species versus Jason. That really, I think, would please the fans. I think that'd be good.
And she's a chick, so
I don't even know what that is.
yeah.
Ooh, season 3.
Yeah. Species is good,
Wait, you have like all of season 2 planned out already?
pretty much.
Wow.
We're just about there, bro.
We're almost ready to share.
Wow, you guys are like world's best teachers. You get like should get an award or
You
something.
got to have a curriculum and a syllabus. Syllabus.
Yep, you need a syllabus full of sibilants.
Sibilance and syphilis.
Season 4.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank? Uh-oh. It's that kind of movie.
You know, it's a fun movie. I did have
It is
fun
fun.
watching it today. It reminds me very much of a made-for-Sci-Fi Channel
Yeah.
quality movie, though. I mean, it doesn't... In no way should this have been shown in theaters.
No, this should have been straight to video. It's almost like a Roger Corman type movie, which George has no idea what that is, but
I'm still pouring my beer over
yeah,
here.
like Roger Corman was notorious for making low budget sci-fi horror movies that were just like guy in a suit. You can just tell that he doesn't care.
Were the effects in this bad?
No.
The effects were great.
Yeah, I don't think they were bad at all.
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, well, I shouldn't say great, but they were good.
They were good.
They were good.
I think the frozen Jason could have been done better.
How about the chick getting sucked through the hole
That was cool.
through the grate?
Now, what year did this come out? This came out before Alien Resurrection, I believe, right?
I don't know when Alien Resurrection came out.
Yeah, it's around close to the same time, but I think this came out before.
This
'Cause-
came out in April of 2002, but I think it was done like 18 months before that, maybe
Yeah.
2 years before that, and then it sat on a shelf
Yep.
and ended up getting torrented by the world before it ever hit theaters.
Hmm.
Somehow I missed that, though, so I saw it fresh in theaters and was like, ooh, Jason.
Well, anyway, in that Alien movie, they kind of do that same bit. So I'm wondering who did it first.
I would like to apologize to the girl that missed her senior prom because 16-year-old Dan didn't want to go to prom because prom's dumb, and instead we went to Jason X.
You took a girl to this movie.
I did.
Did you hold hands at least?
I don't even remember. She probably wouldn't talk to me again after that.
I wouldn't.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
It's-
what else is there to say about it?
Horror movies shouldn't go to space unless they originate in space.
It's
That's
a good.
what I would say.
It's a good rule.
I mean, it's a good way to do a horror movie because it's kind of an unknown origin of something that the people, they're all, 400 or 500 years in the future. They don't know who he is and what he can bring.
If you're gonna do a movie 400 years in the future, you better have your shit look weird, like real weird.
Oh, you didn't like that little pod that they flew, that sneaker that they were flying in?
It's like,
Yeah,
what
it's
the
terrible.
heck?
Like, at least hire a guy that got fired from ILM to come in and make your spaceships.
Yeah.
Like,
We've already reached the how would we have done this better phase. Because what is there to say about this movie? It's silly. It's funny. It's not great. But, it's got its moments.
It
The
has its
simulator stuff is amazing.
yes.
And if it was just that for an hour and a half, it would have been great. And the ice kill at the beginning
Hmm.
is stupendous. Like, smash, brains, like, ugh.
And the whole Hannibal Lecter thing, like the room and he's chained up. Like, I get it, and it was very like artsy, which is weird. It was like artistically done,
That's
but
why
not
I'm
taken
wondering.
serious.
I'm wondering if it really wasn't taken serious, or if it was taken serious and it's just really
It
bad.
could have been a film school type mentality where it's just like, oh, this shot, there's 9 ways to do it. I want to do it this way, and it's going to look amazing. Who cares about a script? Like,
Yeah.
it's
You know,
like,
You could also suggest that, the appearance of David Cronenberg in that scene.
yes, awesome.
With him on set, they might have been like, oh, God, the boss is here. Let's make this look good. And then as soon as Cronenberg's gone, they were like, all right, give me those neon lights.
yeah, explain that to me. How do you have the wherewithal to hire him to play that character?
This director is like his old editor.
Okay, because it's like he's a bit of an icon.
He did that as a favor for a friend.
Okay.
And he's the best part of the movie, probably, in terms of
Yeah.
like quality acting and presentation. He's great.
I don't know. I don't know. To me, it seemed kind of wasteful. It's like I would have called him and said, "Listen, I need you to be in every scene of my movie."
Yeah, it gives you. It's so good that it gives you hope that the movie might actually be good.
Yes, I
do
remember
think
that.
It's funny that you both have commented how much you like Bondage Jason. I didn't know that about you both, but independently, you've both been into Chained Up Jason.
I'm fine with Bondage Jason as long as he's bald.
Chain that Jason.
Love that Joker.
I'm glad that you caught that cadence. Good job, Travis. Extra points for you. George, what do you think about when stone cold dead Jason wakes up because a chick is being pleasured by her boyfriend? Did you notice that? Like,
Yeah.
I know that that's on the nose, but did you notice that he didn't wake up when the teacher was getting it, but only when the girl was getting it? Jason's a misogynist.
When the teacher was... Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah,
teacher was
Because the
kinda-
teacher
The
goes through a
professor,
whole
yeah.
thing. Yeah, the professor guy did nothing for Jason.
You mean Mr. Belding?
Oh my gosh.
He reminded me of. I'm watching. I'm like, they have another actor in Hollywood that is like Mr. Belding. Like, there's two of them. You Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. You know what I thought? I did think, like you said, that's kind of on the nose. But I also I kind of got off of that thought almost immediately when that chick's face went in the whatever frozen sink
Oh, yeah,
and
the
then got
nitrous or
smashed
whatever.
and like her face just shattered on the countertop.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that part is amazing.
And that made me just forget about the other part. So
It would have been cool if he actually pushed her entire head in the water, including his own arm. And when he shattered her head, he shattered his own arm. That would have been cool.
Actually, that would have been really cool.
yeah.
Because there's no way he would have known how liquid nitrogen works,
Yeah.
right?
That would have been very T2-ish. I would have loved that.
And then he could have had a metal hand, man, when he was Uber Jason.
But I don't know if that's before green screen. They probably wouldn't have wanted to deal with, one-arm Jason.
That's
but
not
it would be
before
kind of
green
cool.
Screen.
No, they used, if you look at the making of, they used green screen all over this movie, dude.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
For amputations?
Yeah, how'd they cut
Okay,
that
good.
guy's arm off?
Okay. Well, T2, there's a bunch of scenes where he has his arm jammed into his jacket.
Oh, well, they did that in this movie, too, a
Okay.
couple of times.
It's unforgivable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
But I know that was a big thing with, with Walking Dead. They didn't want to cut off a character's arm because then they'd have to do CGI for all these episodes, so they just didn't do it with the character. So, and they have computers now. It's a lot easier.
Does Dan have any idea what you're talking about?
No. I don't care.
I know that Walking Dead is a show.
The main character Rick in the comics
Uh-huh.
gets his hand blown off,
Cut off.
cut off, very early
Very
in the
early.
comics, and they don't do that in the show because they don't want to have to pay the CGI.
Well, the
for
creator
every
of the
ep-
comic
every
said he
episode.
regretted doing it because he then had to write the story around the character that had one arm. So then he had to continue to keep that in thought when he was writing stuff.
Yeah,
So he kind of regretted
it
doing
was a
it.
pain in the butt.
Pain in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm assuming back in late 99, early 2000s, that was a thought, when it comes to practical and CGI. You don't want to go in and retouch every frame in a movie that really doesn't deserve that kind of time.
Right.
Did anyone else spend the whole movie thinking that Todd Farmer's character looked just like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Who's Todd Farmer?
The guy that looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He wrote the movie, and he also gets his head cut off at one point in the simulator, and he's like, "All right, game
Yeah,
over."
yeah.
The video game guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
not
not-
the
yeah.
arm cut off video game guy. The
Yeah.
other video
Not
game
not
guy.
the puny one. The guy that looked like he was about to pound a beer, and
Hell yeah.
Austin 316.
Means I just whooped your ass. Yeah, that's funny. And then they had the guy. They totally took that scene from Aliens, the dropship pilot getting killed when the door opens. Like, it's just, I'm just watching them going. They took almost scene by scene to
I have to
recreate.
watch that again.
It's funny. And it's a shame because it would have been really cool to really do it right. I almost want to go and do it. Just like Clerks. I want to go and do it and see if it can be done seriously.
We're really gonna need to up the video budget.
Yeah,
for
I
this
know,
podcast
right?
When we get past COVID.
Gotta get some actors. You know what? After watching this movie, I probably could do it on a tight budget. Give me Maya. I can use Maya and make all my space stuff. A couple local makeup artists and be done. I mean, the acting was horrible.
But yeah, if you guys ever want to watch the show Andromeda, you can watch that one robot lady be a human
Okay,
and that human lady be a robot.
that's where I know her from.
Ah, it's
I think I did
Andromeda.
watch that Andromeda. That was back when like Firefly was out and stuff, right? Yeah, it definitely had like a Star Trek homage feel to it, but just no budget to really do it right.
I'm
Now-
learning to like Star Wars because I have kids. And
Yeah.
it's fun to watch kids love Star Wars. But I'll tell you, sci-fi for me is like a blind spot. I just
Right.
don't get it. It doesn't appeal to me. It's like mayonnaise. Like, I'm not offended by the fact that it exists, but if you put it on my plate, I'm going to make a face.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what you would like, Dan? I think is up your alley. The Mandalorian.
I hear that's good. My kids like it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's like,
but it's like a Western, right? Like, or like a samurai thing.
it takes place like 4 years after Jedi, so you get all your classic characters and looks. You're not getting all this brand new toy making crap. You're getting your old look, and then you're getting a Western. So it's like a Clint Eastwood type Star Wars movie. It's good.
You feel lucky, punk?
Pretty much. And it's got Apollo Creed in it. I mean, you can't.
I was very excited to see Apollo Creed's in it, and that lady that used to be in the UFC or the Strike Force or whatever.
She's awesome.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's 2 people I'd watch it for.
And all the Mandalorians are cool.
If it takes place after Jedi, is that not then the Yoda that I knew as a baby, but instead a second Yoda?
Well, it's not been revealed yet. Are we cutting all this out? It hasn't been revealed yet, but my idea is I think Yoda is kind of like the Dalai Lama. So when he dies, which he would have died in Jedi,
Yeah.
he would be reborn again as a baby.
Interesting.
That's what I think they're going to do. They haven't mentioned that yet. It's just his job is to get this baby Yoda to who wants him. And it was the Empire, which is it's not a spoiler, but
Sounds like I have to watch Mandalorian too.
it's good stuff.
Wah, wah, wah. What I want to know is who Yoda banged right before he died.
That's the thing.
Knowing that franchise, it had to be like either Leia or, like they're all related. So I don't love that. But I've complained about that before.
Yeah.
Like, why does everybody have to be related?
I
a big
honestly think
world.
he just appeared. I don't think there's any kind of who's his parents kind of thing. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be one of those things they'll reveal a lot later. But anyway,
It was Pam Yoda.
Pam Yoda, Poda,
Poda.
Pyoda. Did they explain why Jason's eyes turn into? I mean, he just I don't know. I'm looking at the picture on the TV, and he looks more evil and demonic in this movie than he did in when he went to hell.
Well, remember that lady who gets her face smashed in Iceland ripped out his bad eye
Oh right,
when he's on the table. So when the nano ant robot things rebuilt him, of course they had to give him a bright red evil eye.
Gotcha.
I like the movie. I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I love the sleeping bag kill.
It's so awesome. And I don't know why I love that kill.
This movie came out 2 years after The Matrix.
Okay.
Well, it came out, a couple of years after The Matrix, but it was filmed around the same time as The Matrix, which is the problem, right? You leave a movie in the cooler for 2 years, and suddenly it is, instead of right at where the technology was, it's now way behind.
Yeah. That's what I thought of when Jason was in the simulation. I thought, oh, this is an idea that came from The Matrix. That's cool. But I liked.
Well, that's
I liked
actually a
his
Star Trek thing,
simulation.
isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of comes from Star Trek. That goes way back.
Well, anyways,
the holodeck.
The
I liked it a lot because it was just kind of like a funny, silly way to just like keep Jason occupied for 5 minutes. Like, just give him 2 campers to kill real quick.
No, it was great, and it kind of has the feel of the video game a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love the whole idea of the 2 guys not realizing he's not part of the sim.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of to me that was brilliant, and that should have been the whole movie.
Yeah.
That kind of thought, but it just wasn't. It like I said, they probably had like 3 or 4 storyboards of things they wanted to do, and then the rest was just filler, and it shows. Now at the very end, do they explain where his mask how it ends up underwater?
Well, the rest of him seems to burn up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, but do they explain if that's obviously not Earth?
It's Earth 2, man.
So that's kind of cool because it's now an alternate.
It's
I
a
love that.
prequel to all of them, man.
Yeah,
Whoa, man.
which could explain.
No.
No,
Mm-mm. But it's a fun idea.
is the
I mean,
Flash
it
gonna
just
run in?
brings it all home. It's I don't know. Just wait. Eventually, this property will get picked up by one of the big 2, and you'll end up with some weird alternate connection to like a multiverse.
I don't know.
Avengers versus Jason.
Well, I'm not. I know they made comic books for Jason, but I don't think they were Dark Horse. I think they were Tops.
I really wouldn't mind a Spawn versus Jason.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun. Like, it's fun when you take these characters and cross them over and just remember that it's not canon. Like, let's just see what happens when we mix two things. Try to find the best story we can tell.
Well, that's what they did in Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, there's a Necronomicon just sitting there. There it is. Oh, we opened it. And it is. It is Necronomicon. Okay, so he's part of that universe. Done. Move on.
It's more fun if you don't make it canon, though. Just like, haha, we're having fun. Everyone's having fun still. Oh, you need to see another kill. Here's another kill. See, we're having fun.
I'm cool with it.
I don't know.
So where do we go from here? I guess the franchise is done.
Yeah, I mean, where else can you go once you've made it to Earth 2? Where do you go from here, George?
How many more movies are there?
8.
8 more?
No. This was it.
Yeah, this is pretty much it.
And then they made Freddy vs. Jason, which you saw.
They made Freddy vs. Jason, and they make a remake of the first one, right? I kind of want to watch Freddy vs. Jason again, but I'm not going to get any of the Freddy stuff.
I think we save that until we actually get you through the night. By the way, if we do Nightmare movies at any point, I will watch the first 2 again.
And that's it.
And that's it. I'm up to 6, which I've seen before on TV. I probably won't watch it. I tried to make it through the whole series.
Right.
And
It's
I
not
don't
worth
like it. I don't like it. It's not for me.
3 is okay. 3 is okay.
I like 2 better than
2
3.
is the best.
1 and 2 I like. And I've seen them multiple times, and I like them.
I watch 2 more than 1 because you get more Freddy in 2.
I really think that Prom Night 2 is a better Nightmare 3 than Nightmare 3.
Yeah, by 3 he was pretty much comedy.
And have you ever seen Bad Dreams from the 80s?
Bad Dreams.
It actually stars one of the girls from, I think, Freddy 4.
No, I don't know if I've seen
Something like that. Anyway, it's like a knockoff, but it's actually pretty good, and it doesn't have all the hokiness.
Right. I don't know. Again, that's another franchise that I never understood why they didn't take it seriously. There's so
Because
many.
they're making all that money, man.
I know. It's so annoying though, because
You can't put a serious child murderer on a lunchbox.
True, but you can. I mean, you can still make it marketable and funny without, the expense of a script.
I mean, you
and
can.
An idea. They did.
You can put a serious child murderer on a lunchbox.
This is true. Nowadays, definitely.
You can.
That's actually, you can go in the Spencer's and buy like a a lunchbox with a serial killer on it.
Murderer.
It's like, oh, here's my Ted Bundy lunchbox.
So are we doing the remake next?
Oh, we are. But we're going to do it in depth, like we did the first Friday the 13th. So we've come full circle. We ended season 1 in earnest with Friday the 13th, 1980. And we're going to begin season 2 with Friday the 13th, 2009. So bring your big boy pants. We're going to get pretty deep into this one. George.
Yes, sir.
You've seen 10 Jason movies.
Yes, sir.
What's your final, official, never going to change ranked order?
1, 2, not 3, 4. Oh my God, they all blend together. I don't know, man. I liked 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's about right. 6 and 7 are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like 5, but I know it's bad. And I like 8 and 9. And I know they're bad. And 10's okay.
Wait.
3's okay.
Here's what's going to hurt me. Do you rank 9 and 10 above 3?
Me? No.
No, Dan. So you think 3 is worse than 9 or 10?
Here's the thing about 3. It is not as bad as 9 or 10. But it is so lifeless. Like, the errors in it are so technical and boring. And it plays it so safe with the formula that was already started by 2. That if I'm picking between watching 9 or 3, I'm going to watch 9. Now, I'm not going to watch 10 because 10 should be on Sci-Fi Channel and I should be ignoring it. But if I was a sci-fi guy, I might be really happy to
Right.
watch 10 again. But it's just it's the wrong aesthetic for me. But 3 versus 9, that's a toss-up, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
3, for as bad as 3 was, you get the mask. You get Jason for the way we will know him.
Mm-hmm.
The way he will go down in history comes from that movie. So for nostalgia purposes, and also the very end of that movie, if you just look past all the 3D stuff and
Yeah.
like the very end, the barn scene was
It's
really
iconic.
was really good.
Yeah.
You know, the hanging Jason, the axe to the forehead. Like, I would definitely put 3 above 9 and 10.
I think for me, the reason why I give 3 higher than Dan would is I love 4, and I think 4 is a remake of 3 done by somebody who's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they basically said, let's fix this. Let's remake this movie correctly. Let's bring back Tom. Let's do this right. Let's introduce a protagonist that we can maybe develop.
Yeah.
So I think I lump 3 with 4 more than most people, and I'm not the minority because there's a lot of people that love 3 for whatever reason. Like, I love it because it's one of my first Jason movies I saw, just like he likes 8.
Mm-hmm.
The theme song is really good.
and the theme song. I've never seen it in the theater, so I never really experienced the 3D of it. So it doesn't bother me as much because I didn't actually watch it in 3D. It's more or less those parts are corny because it's so forced, and you're just like, oh my god, seriously.
And 3 was the one where Jason has the one, like the boyfriend of the main chick, like right around the corner.
Gary or Greg?
I don't know what the hell his name was.
Kirk?
He was right around the corner of the cabin.
Yeah.
Like holding his mouth, and like she was like right on the other side of that corner, and then you get his eyes popping out. But that scene, like,
so Jason,
that was good.
Yeah.
And then they made his eyes pop out, but just cut the eyes popping out part out of the movie.
Would have been fun.
And it would, it's got really good stuff in it.
But I understand why people hate on it.
And I go back and forth on it. Ask me again in 6 months, and I might have let 3 climb back up in my good graces. We're supposed to watch it with my Friday the 13th game group.
Right.
This coming up. One of the guys has never seen it, so we're all going to suffer through it so that he can get to part 4 with us later.
Mm.
And it might be so much fun to watch it with a group of people making fun of it the whole time that the next time we talk about it, I might be singing its praises. But,
actually, everyone should shut up and let him make his own decisions about it.
Who? Oh, the friend, yeah.
Yeah, the friend who's never seen it. Everyone should shut up.
Yeah,
And let him
but
watch
then
it.
when you watch movies with friends online, you just talk the whole time. That's half the fun.
No.
Yeah, that's the way it was at the theater when we would watch The Employee. That was part of the fun because then you could, if you didn't like something, you heard other people like screaming at the screen, and you're like, okay, I'm not the only person that thinks this is stupid.
Yeah.
But I will say, me going back and forth on movies like that, especially part 3, it's probably just hormones, because that's what happens when you're pregnant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when do you do? When's that baby due? Oh.
Holy moly, guys. Holy moly. How are you feeling about the Jason character now? We're 10 in. You've pretty much seen the whole canon now.
Yeah, he's been everything.
Was it worth it?
No.
Are you a fan?
Yeah. I'm
like
a
if
fan.
I said, hey George, it's Friday the 13th soon. Let's all get together and watch part 4.
Yeah, I would do that for sure.
Yay.
Then that's all that counts.
Yeah, you didn't even have to put that in your little computer.
If I look at it this way, if October rolls around and you get like, you weren't brought up this way, but like every October you have your Fright Fest and all this stuff on TV. They always would run, and even Friday 13ths in a month when they pop up, they do this on some channels. They run them all. They do the marathons. You're going to start watching 2 and 3 and 4 multiple times, and 1. You won't watch 8, 9, or 10 multiple times. You'll be away from it for a while, and you might, I'll check it out. No, I still hate it. But you're gonna probably watch 2 and 4 and 1 about 30 times.
I think 1 is my favorite.
Yeah, and then
It's
you'll
really
become
good, man. There's no apologizing. 1 is amazing.
1 is my favorite, and 2 is my favorite Jason. And I know that's kind of like it's not the Jason that you see everywhere. It's
Right.
not the Jason that you're familiar
It's not the
with.
sexy Jason.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. But
It's not the marketable
I'll tell you
Jason.
what, even though it was completely stolen from some French movie from whatever, like that Jason was the best Jason.
Yeah. And I was going to give kudos to Dan for that because I've always been a fan of the green shirt, khaki pants, hockey mask Jason, but I've always liked the part 2 Jason more with his hood off. I like at the very end when he jumps through the window, just what his face looks like. It's to me that's what Jason should look like. And they kind of touch that later in a later movie called Hatchet. They kind of steal that look, but seeing that footage from that old Italian movie, is it Italian or French?
The Town That Dreaded Sundown was American.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah, Bay of Blood is Italian, but The Town That Dreaded Sundown's a boring old American production.
it just had that feel.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
did.
when I saw that footage, I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now," and it made me love that Jason even more
Yeah.
because I wish I would have gotten more of that.
Yeah.
I like seeing, unlike Michael Myers, you don't want to see a lot of him. I like seeing a lot of Jason. I want to see his behavior. I want to see what he's doing, why he's doing it. To me, it makes it more interesting. Just like Leatherface, you see him do his things, and it's like that's more interesting than being in the shadows. I want to see why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
That character with the sack on his head was very interesting to me.
Right, because we're not even sure if that was really Jason.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
So when I apply the source material where they got the idea from to Friday 13th Part 2, I like it even more.
Yeah. Yeah, Part 2 is the best Jason movie. Part 1 is great, and it might be my favorite, but it's also not a Jason movie.
Right. Well, you like 1 because it's a lot like Psycho, which is
Yeah.
that's good reason.
1 and 2 and 4 and 6 and 3. Fuck everything
I
else.
can't wait to like watch them a bunch of times and it just becomes like part of you.
Yeah.
It should be fun. And then he'll be officially a Jason lover and he won't even know why. He'll be like, I hated half of them.
I didn't hate them. Since
did
my expectations were so low,
Right.
it's like Dan talked about, when your expectations are so low, you're not disappointed. But yeah, the last couple movies were they're just garbage.
How
But
did Part 9 do as far as your expectations for Part 10? Like, did you come into X expecting it to really suck because 9 had sucked? Or were you like, all right, they're going to get it right this time in space?
Well, I had no idea that it was in space.
Ooh,
So
the big twist.
when that happened, when it started, it just looks like a Jason movie. Like, okay, they have him all locked up and he's on Earth and whatever. I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, okay, he's starting this movie. He's captive. Okay, and how's this gonna go? They're gonna try and freeze him. Okay, that's something that we do on Earth currently. And then they open that door and you find out that the people that are coming in are from 400 years in the future, and it's like, oh, okay, this movie's not going to be what I thought it was. I had no idea it was a space movie. But
I really wish you understood the tone that having Cronenberg walk out would have been. Like, I didn't even realize that you wouldn't even know who that was. But when he comes out, it's like it would be almost like watching a mafia movie and seeing, De Niro or someone come out as a boss. Like, you just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it just sets the tone.
Yeah, this is a legit movie. It's good.
And then it goes away.
Yeah. All downhill from there.
All downhill from there.
but very generous of him to show up on
Yes.
that set.
Yes. Did you like Nightbreed, Dan?
I haven't seen Nightbreed.
Okay. It's a good 90s horror movie. I wasn't sure if you saw it. But he's in that as well.
Wasn't too long ago I finally ended up watching Shivers all the way through. I'd seen clips, but I'd never sat through the whole thing. That's a fun one.
I think he's in The Fly too. Didn't he directed that?
directed the
He directed
remake,
that.
yeah.
The remake.
One of these is yours, Travis.
He's showing me Crazy Ralph. You're doomed.
Oh yeah, I sent you You're Doomed stickers.
You're
so.
all doomed.
We have Tenebrae. We have the bird with the crystal plumage.
Oh, I guess we're having a few watch parties.
We have Paranoia.
Right. Nice.
Now, Paranoia is not the other Paranoia that's also known as Orgasmo,
Halloween 3.
but it is very good.
Halloween 2.
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, can I watch that with you?
Sure.
I want to watch Halloween 2 with you.
The Slumber
as well.
Party Massacre.
Never saw that.
What?
No, never saw it.
Ooh, you're in for a treat with that one.
Torso. Never even opened.
Oh, wow. That's because he's got 9 copies of it.
Yeah, a lot of those I just bought.
Blood Hunger.
Wow, that's a big
yeah.
set.
Films of Jose Larraz.
Jose Ramon Larraz.
Jose Larraz.
Whirlpool, motherfuckers.
Whirlpool.
Also vampires, and also The Coming of Sin. Well, it's a great set. Holy crap. But you got to check out Whirlpool. I've been telling you for months.
So, this is a great box.
That is a good box.
Like-
Should have did a What's in the Box on YouTube.
When the
What's in
Yeah.
the box?
When I opened it and the first unmarked jewel case had Tenebrae and the bird with the crystal plumage in it, I was like, this is a great box.
Yeah, I ran
I
out of
can't
room,
wait.
so I couldn't send the cases, so I doubled them up. Those you have to send back because I only have a couple of copies of those. But
I figured.
of the rest of them, though, really, if you want to keep any of those, just keep them.
I'm curious to hear his take on Halloween 3 as well.
Oh, I love Halloween 3 so much, guys. And you can thank our listener, Aaron, for sending his personal copy over to you, George.
It's so
So cool.
70s, though. Or 81-ish. 83-ish.
We'll get to
But
it.
it still feels like 70s.
Oh, it's so good.
We'll get to it.
Yeah,
You're
man.
doomed.
We watched part 2 the other night, actually, with our game group, because that one guy who hadn't seen any of them except for the first one finally relented and watched part 2 with all of us.
Halloween?
And every time, Jason, part 2.
Jason, part 2.
So I've now watched that 3 times this month.
You're welcome.
I love that movie, dude. I love that movie. Anyway, anytime Crazy Ralph popped on the screen, one of the guys would go, "Hey, look, it's Dan. Hey, Dan's back." Thanks, guys. I've had a hard year, guys. We're all doomed.
We're doomed.
We're doomed. It's as I said to somebody earlier, it's all two sides of the same coin. It's just a matter of which side you're looking at. We're all still in the same situation.
We're all doomed, man.
We're all
doomed.
Doomed.
Because life's a tragedy. George taught me that in season 1.
Yeah. I mean, that's true no matter what's going on. The fact that we're all doomed is like a fact.
We've all got a death curse.
Yeah. It's like 100% of people who have ever lived die. So,
On that uplifting note, I'd like to thank you for listening to the Remedial Film Class podcast, where you can learn about life and movies. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at @RemedialFilmPod. You can email us at remedialfilmpod@gmail.com, and you can check out some really fun picture comparisons on our Facebook page at facebook.com/remedialfilmpod. We break down some comparisons between Part 2 and The Town That Dreaded Sundown, A Bay of Blood, and both the first 2 Fridays, Phenomena, and its influence on Friday 6, as well as the earlier Friday's influence on Phenomena. It's a whole big shebang. It's like a party for your eyes. So check us out there. We have our Season 2 premiere, Friday the 13th, 2009, scheduled tentatively for the middle of December. And then we're looking at actually going to a full-on bi-weekly format. So you should be getting new Remedial Film podcast in your ears about every other Wednesday going forward. So, a lot of exciting developments. We want to thank you all for sticking with us through the fall break. And if mainstream and good movies really aren't your thing, just kind of bear with us for a few episodes here in season 2. And then spring break is coming, guys. Spring break is coming. All right, have a great winter. We'll see you here in a couple of Wednesdays. Thanks, guys.
Hey, George, it's Kane Hodder. So Daniel Green tells me that you watched all of the Friday movies. That's pretty impressive. That's a lot of watching and a lot of watching different people play that character. And he tells me that you prefer the first movie? Really? Jason didn't do shit. I'm sorry about the language. Jason didn't do much at all. He grabbed somebody at the end and that was it. Now, the movie itself is pretty good, but come on. The main attraction is Jason, correct? So I'll give you another chance to change that opinion, and I'm sure you'll come to the conclusion that I was a better Jason than anyone else. And if you don't, of course, I'll have to kill you.